All right, welcome back, guys. Yep, that would be the one and only Admiral Price. I'm joined today also by Point Man and Achilles, the hoster of the tournament.
Hello.
This is the finals for Beta 52, and currently it's a best of 3 series. Prussian Prince is 1, and Harba is 1, and Prussian Prince is going with Carthage. What?
Interesting choice.
User left your channel.
That is a very interesting choice. Harba going for Rome again. It seems that Rome and Suebi are his 2 main factions, or at least have been so in this tournament. Prussian Prince has
User
stuck
joined
with
your channel.
Arverni and then went with Egypt, and now he's trying Carthage, which is very interesting.
Carthage has good pikes. I mean, good mid-level pikes. Decent mid-level infantry. The Sacred Band are decent. The cavalry sucks.
Carthage doesn't have any single unit that is like, oh my god, this unit is amazing. But overall, they're a decent faction that can be used, in a balanced way, and, you can get wins with them. They're not like as bad as Athens, but I'd say they're a little bit, less viable than Rome, Arverni, Suebi, Iceni, Macedon, Egypt.
I think the Carthaginians kind of function like Egypt, but Egypt at worse.
Yeah, they
Whereas
don't have
Egypt is very versatile. Carthage is also very versatile, but it's very versatilely bad. Like it's everything that it does is mid-level. It's not.
Yep.
Doesn't have any elite units in that sense. If hoplites were more viable, I think Carthage would be a lot better as a faction because Sacred Band are good.
Sorry, what's that?
I said if hoplites were more viable, then Carthage would be a decent faction, because the Sacred Band are pretty good for hoplites, anyways.
I mean, hoplites are going to see, I think, increase in usage after Beta Patch 3 comes out as well. Just because we're seeing CA kind of go towards giving infantry more health and a lot less melee defense, except for the hoplite units. The hoplite units are maintaining their defense and only getting a small hit to their armor, but then also getting more health. So it looks like hoplites are going to become more viable, and factions like Athens and Carthage are going to be, maybe these defensive factions that are very difficult to crack.
Except with pikes. Because the hoplites versus pikes is actually pretty funny.
Yeah, but you can bring many more hoplites than you can pikes because they're just not as expensive. And 2 hoplite units that are working a pike at the same time actually does a lot of damage, especially if you have one engage in hoplite phalanx mode from the front. They won't die as quickly as sword units.
I wonder how swords and shield wall do against pikes.
That would be an interesting thing to test out after this. So this is the Arse map. Arse.
I say. I'll say. It's basically I say like a redneck will say it. I say.
Someone has a slow computer today. Alrighty then. So, wow, look at Harba's army.
It's basically expected for what he's been trying to do for the last few games.
Yeah,
this time he's not gonna get out skirmished.
6 Balearic slingers. And it's interesting how he goes with slingers again. Oh, he goes for slingers now as opposed to going for
I
archers.
think he learned his lesson from the last one. Is just not going to get out skirmished
Yeah,
again.
he was like, okay, screw this, man. I'm going
User
for
left your
6
channel.
Balearic slingers, and I'm gonna make that work. His infantry is actually not all that fantastic. He does have 3 units of Praetorian Guards. And then 4 of these armored legionaries. Really high armor for these armored legionaries. 90 armor, so they are pretty tough units.
But again, against Carthage, the infantry doesn't need to be stellar.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be stellar.
User
at all.
joined your channel.
With this Praetorian cavalry, he'll... Oh, it's actually not Praetorian cavalry. It's
It's
one
not,
auxiliary.
Yeah, it's 1 Ox,
that's
1 Pratt.
1 Ox and 1 Praetorian on either flank.
Indeed.
And you know, he's doing the 7-9 split a lot with his army. He did this last game too and the game before. I'm not sure I like the idea of a 7-9 split.
What do you mean 7-9 split?
You know, in bowling, when you have when you knock all the pins down except for the 7th pin and the 9th pin, which are at different flanks.
Oh, okay.
So that's a 7-9 split here.
You mean he puts his army into 2 big groups?
2 big groups that
Leaves
are
a gap.
separated.
Yeah. I think it's just his starting formation. He's rarely maintained the...
I mean, last game, that 7-9 split just totally went 7-9.
Yeah. It
Are we
didn't
talking
work.
about bowling or Total War Games?
So let's take a look at the Carthaginian army of the Prussian Prince. This is going to be very exciting. He has 6 or 5 units of these Balearic slingers, 3 mercenary Iberian cavalry. That is... Wow, okay.
Interesting.
You got 2 sacred bands back here. His general has been left on the hill all the way back on its own.
Surveying the field.
Okay.
I think you forgot about it.
Yeah, he probably did forget about it. This
Because
is...
look at the formation. It's like one of those formations when you control all and then put everything in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, I don't
Ooh,
see...
those slingers are gonna get taken out by Pratt Cav right there.
Oh, are they though? Yeah.
The trap.
They might run back. They might make it back. And there are now these Sacred Band hoplites coming in. I'm really surprised that the Prussian Prince actually went with Carthage. Like, this is a ballsy move from him. This
Full
Very.
point, man.
This Carthaginian army is going to have, I think, a tough time here. But it's the Prussian Prince, so...
If he can force an attack at the pikes, maybe you'll be okay.
No,
But-
like, the thing is, he doesn't have anything. Like, he doesn't have the infantry advantage. He
What
doesn't
is
have
he
the
doing
cav
with those
advantage.
slingers?
He doesn't have the he doesn't have the skirmish. He doesn't have any advantage. Harba has him beaten on all the categories. He's got better cav.
Yeah.
He's got better inf. He's got better skirmish.
At this point, if I was Harba, I would see my skirmish advantage right away and just start pushing it. This is where
Iberian
I would
cav.
definitely... Oh. No, he does this a lot, and it's actually really nice, the Prussian Prince, which is... He has no intention of actually engaging those slingers, but he'll use his cav to just get them out of position and get a free volley, basically.
Hey, you brought his gen. He didn't forget.
Yeah, he brings his gen in, and look at these charges now by the Praetorian and auxiliary cav. That's hitting a mercenary Iberian cavalry, and look at
Ooh,
that
that's
Draco.
bad. That is bad.
That's a free unit.
That is a free
Basically.
minute. I think he's trying to get the hoplites engaged so that they can't form fronts like they're doing now. I think it's it's going to be very tough for the Prussian Prince to do anything here.
Yeah, and you know, he has to be very careful with this cavalry because he just doesn't have enough of it. And
Why
on top of
did
that,
he choose Carthage?
I don't know why he chose Carth. I don't know why.
have
Egypt
to ask
would have
him
been
that.
better. Egypt or Inceni.
He does have some African pikemen actually. 3 of those.
Yeah, pikes are scary, but
But like 3, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of hoplites here and a lot of legionaries, and we all know how that works.
well, I think right now it's more important for Prussian to win this skirmish than it is for Harba.
It's important for Harba to not like completely get obliterated and have a lot of archers left for.
But
or
look at this,
slingers
Prussian slingers are shooting into a forest, while 2 of his slingers are just kind of standing in the plains.
Run, Prussian Prince, run!
Oh my god, his general? Really? You're going to use your general as bait? That's ballsy.
But there you go, GD. He's actually skirmishing now.
Yeah, and one of his Iberian slingers is already, Blaric's slinger's already down to 50 men, will rout soon. Things not looking good for Prussian here.
Not at all. This was and look, he's even, Harba has a better position for firing stuff down.
Yeah.
In the forest.
I don't know what Prussian is doing in this, actually.
I don't know what is, it's very, very awkward. Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know.
Only time will tell.
I mean, shooting into a forest.
You know, I'm gonna
From
point
the
out
plains.
something very important here. I think, is that Harba knew he was faithing Carthage. He knew Carthage didn't have a lot of strong cav, so he didn't bring 4 Praetorian cav like he'd been, you know, or 4 of whatever the good cav is. He brought auxiliary cav. You don't need that good cav, and then he put the investment in his skirmish, and in being able to field so many infantry units.
Yeah.
Whereas the Prussian Prince has gone with an African pikeman build. With,
I think if he can force an engagement with his pikes, he has a chance.
I don't think so. 'Cause
But
against even me, Harba just kept on kiting. I don't think he's going to give up his...
he's not going to be able to force the engagement, but he has to try, because right now the only thing that can really save him is a frontal attack with his pikes on those legions, and then maybe using his skirmishers to take out whatever remains of the industrial army.
But just remember, even if the Prussian Prince does engage the front line of Harba still has a lot of cav. Prussian Prince is going to make sure that all those hoplite units that he brought for flanking intentionally, they're going to be used to protect his skirmishers. They're not going to be flanking.
But again, it will be a, well, now the pikes are getting torn apart by slingers too. Yeah, this just looks really bad in every front.
I think yeah. This is going to be really
I think
bad.
this is where Prussian is really regretting bringing Carthage.
Yeah.
And this is the third and final match?
Yeah, this is the third match. This determines the winner of the tournament.
I mean, Carthage versus Rome on the third match probably is not a good idea.
Should have brought elephants.
Yeah, totally. He should have brought elephants. Elephants against an army like this would have done magic.
Because he didn't bring any archers either, so he can't use flaming stuff.
Or at least bring 6 slingers instead of 5, you know, like...
Oh, look
if
at
you're
this
gonna
though,
go with
Harba's
Carthage.
general!
No, no, he
Almost
gets
gets
It's not a
caught
big deal.
there.
GD, you pulled the fear. You're about to shout something.
This is Carthage!
I don't know, I feel like the more Harba kites, the better position he gets.
Yeah.
I mean, Prussian Prince is just completely out of position here.
Yeah, exactly.
His pikemen are taking damage from the slingers, so that even if they're not dying in hordes, their health is being reduced, and the legionnaires will have an easier time. Plus, the pilum of the legionnaires will be more effective.
Harba split up his army. He's going to try and flank. Getting ready.
Yeah, that's a smart thing to do. That also increases the effectiveness of the cavalry. When he has an army split like that, because he can use the cavalry to create superior local force wherever he is.
Prussian Prince is taking a lot of casualties doing this.
But he has no other choice.
He can force an engagement out of Harba if he just, like, kind of like what I did in my first match. Just combine your army and just attack one half.
Mm-hmm.
They'll force the other half to engage.
And then you can hold that half off with your very nice hoplites.
Yes.
And at least buy time for
Pikes.
them.
So the Prussian Prince is falling back now for some reason, even though
And because Harba looks like he's going to start
surrounding,
trying to flank here.
Yeah.
I hope he's not. He should still skirmish.
Oh, he's attacking now with his infantry. I think he likes
No,
this position.
don't, Harba.
Ooh.
Don't.
I don't know about that move.
Well, he can attack those sacred bands. If he wants.
Yeah,
I
but
think he'll win that.
not the pikes.
No, of course not.
Ooh.
He would never attack pikes.
Oh, look at the Sacred Band on the right
Here it
flank.
starts, yep.
The Sacred Band on the right flank are going to probably get caught here. Harba being very aggressive. He's actually moving all of his cavalry around one flank.
I think what he's going to try to do is catch the Sacred Band and then use the cavalry to mop up from the
I
back.
like what Prussian Prince trying to do. He's trying to... He was about to slip a cav unit in between Harba's army, try to get to the skirmishers. But they just lost so much. Holy crap.
Yeah. They're going to get eaten by the slingers. And that African pike down to 71 men.
That's just from battery.
Yeah.
Engagement, right flank.
Yep, and
He's turning a pike. You should engage on the flank of that pike unit.
Yeah.
Oh.
That Legion is definitely going to take on that pike right there. And the pikes are losing decisively.
You know, it's, I think, like, look at this place where Harba decided to engage with the Prussian Prince. All of his pikes are in the middle of these trees, and it's really hard to get in there and actually look and spot the pikes. Like, if you're zoomed out, you can't see which direction you're aiming. He's gonna be irritated from those trees, I think. But he's actually doing well on the right side.
That legion, or those two legions there, the Praetorian guards there, even without flanking on the African pikes, they're just taking apart that infantry.
I mean, Harba just sent 2 units against the Sacred Bands, and the Sacred Bands are already like wavering. They're being charred by the skirmishers too. Since Prussian Prince
and the center of that pike formation is just getting crushed.
I don't understand why the Prussian Prince doesn't take his cav now and head directly for the skirmishers of Harba. Like, there's a huge gap in the middle of the lines. He could totally pull it off. But I guess he needs them there to protect from
cav. But then he'll leave gaps. I think it's pretty much over because he's only being attacked on the flank, so there's no reason to have.
He's doing it now. The Prussian Prince is doing it now with his cav, but that cav is
it's too late.
Gonna get caught. Yeah, it's too late.
And the other thing is that you can see these Iberian cav, because their armor is so low, they just get eaten by the first volley.
Also, notice that Harba made it look like he was gonna engage on all fronts, but didn't. He just attacked the flanks and let the rest of his skirmishers kind of attack the center.
And that's a smart thing to do, especially since you have such a decisive
His cav is going into his skirmishers. He's going to rout all those skirmishers.
Yeah, at this point it's basically over for...
It's basically GG for the Prussian Prince.
Prussian Prince is going to get a cav unit into those skirmishers of Harba, though, but it's
way too late.
Over. Oh, he is sniping Harba's gen. So you never
yeah,
know.
but with discipline across the board, it's not really going to do much.
I don't know, I'm just so used to playing Shogun too, like, you never know when a mass rout might be caused or something. It's so random. Yeah, it is pretty much done. All the cav of Harbas and the skirmishers, they're attacking the back of Prussian Prince's infantry while they're engaged in the front by the legionnaires. Yeah.
I would say, more than anything, the Prussian Prince was crippled by his choice of faction.
Yeah.
I mean, going with Carthage against Rome is basically telling your opponent, I'm so much better than you. So you have
I don't think that's the reason why I chose Pontus versus Suebi. I just wanted to, bring 20 units for once.
But even Pontus, they have stuff that they're really good at. Like their shot cavalry is really good, and their archers are pretty nice too.
Yeah, their archers are really nice.
And then they have pikes and hoplites as well. So Pontus is, Carthage is one of the weakest factions in the game.
It is, and that's really stupid. I wish they would update that.
And you don't take Carthage against Rome in a tournament battle.
Very, very interesting choice from the Prussian Prince. GG dropped
Don't worry.
by all sides.
Don't worry, everybody. I'm going to beat Harba next time. I won't take Pontus.
So Harba,
Pointus,
champion of Beta 52, he went against some of the really, really, really tough players. He beat the Prussian Prince in the finals, and he also played against Majut. He played against Pointman. And he also played against Agony Rot. So he had a hefty tournament today, and he came out on top. I'd say...
But he didn't do it with any underpowered nations, though, so that's really unfortunate.
He went with Rome and Suebi, but, that's Total War.
Well, not really. I just think the use of only one nation throughout the entire tournament would be a lot more sufficient for a proper tournament. That means you're more you're more adaptable. Like you're more adaptable to the nations that you use,
I don't know.
I think,
but
and it
that,
provides
that,
a variety and
yeah, but
refreshment.
that forces versatility on everybody. Like
Everybody
maybe
disagreed with me.
maybe I just want to buy this game and be competitive
disagreed.
and just play with Rome and Swebby. I bought the game. I want to play it that way. Why do I have to be limited to play other factions?
Then don't
be
participate
limited.
in
Just
a
don't
tournament
enter
that has
tournament.
rules. Yeah.
I mean, maybe I bought this game so that I could spam elephants, right? I mean, but that's not just working out.
Yeah, but it's not like
Tournament.
bringing one or two factions that you're really strong as you're really strong as constantly. It's not like that's a bad thing or a spammy thing. It's a very viable thing to do.
It's
like someone that brought the same veterans over and over again in Shogun 2. So what?
Yeah, but in Napoleon to the War, I didn't just take France. I took like the Ottomans because I don't know, they were very people didn't face the Ottomans that much. So
Because
they
the
always
Ottoman
considered it
sword rush was so awesome.
not just that, but people just underestimated the Ottomans because people didn't take it so much, so they weren't used to facing it. So like in a strategic sense, I felt like if I used the Ottomans, they just wouldn't know how to react to it or how to face it.
I don't know. I still think it's very debatable, and I don't think like the community has even decided on like what it wants either. We don't know what we want yet.
I know what I want. Only use one nation once.
I think
Ban it.
That's one of the options we have, right?
I think more importantly is we need to stop the Prussian Prince from using stupid factions. Honestly, because what was it?